let it grow. I'm at war with it, but it's hard to let it go.
So a lot of people are up in arms about the fixed weapon roll system in Destiny 2, saying things such as, bring back random weapon rolls, and I miss my god rolls, and there's no point in grinding for weapons again. And you know, I honestly don't blame anyone who feels this way, because there's already no incentive to grind in Destiny 2 due to the severe lack of rewarding in-game activities. Now, when you throw static weapon rolls into the mix without any type of mitigation method of getting the same weapon over and over again, the monotony of this game is perpetuated even further. Myself and other content creators have already stated that the only way this system will succeed is if hundreds of weapons exist in the game. Now, you'd think the whole point of static weapon rolls is to promote weapon uniqueness and weapon variety and give every individual weapon its own special attributes that warrant it being picked in favor of something else. But whether you like it or not, there'll always be some fan favorites. But the fact that a lot of weapons in Destiny 2 aren't being used at all is just saddening, and it's almost solely due to the fact that some weapons just aren't optimal while others are just flat out better options as a whole. Before Destiny 2 came out, I had my fingers crossed that the fixed weapon roll system would promote players to use all sorts of different weapons in the Crucible. But no matter what happens, it seems like there will always be a meta, because like I said before, there are just some weapons that are just flat out better options. Because if a weapon's rolls can never change, there's no way to make it better, so your only option is to use something else. To keep it 100% real with you, I don't have many gripes with the fixed weapon roll system aside from the lack of benefit of getting the same weapon multiple times. And I feel that this is a thorn at everyone's side, because in Destiny 1 it was incredibly motivating to try and get a better version of a weapon you already have, which is why a lot of people are upset that random weapon rolls aren't a thing in Destiny 2. But I wholeheartedly think that everyone misses the exhilaration of getting god roll weapons, because the frustration of getting so many terrible versions of the same weapon becomes so worth it when that perfect roll finally drops, and that was a big part of the Destiny experience. But there are ways that fixed weapon rolls can be a part of the Destiny experience too. Since fixed weapon rolls make it easier to figure out which weapons are the best options, this reduces the competition between different weapon types, because the true competition is normally between weapons in the same archetype. In Destiny 2, there are too many weapons in the same archetype that don't have enough differences between one another, so in short, they do almost the same thing. This is a huge missed opportunity, accompanied by the fact that there are so many different weapons in the same archetype that use two completely different cosmetics. Now, I'm not saying I'm fine with reskins or anything, I just don't understand why we have amazing looking weapons like the Swift Ride and the Last Perdition that are in the same archetype but look dramatically different. Was it too much to ask for the Swift Ride to be in, I don't know, the 450 RPM archetype, and the Last Perdition to be a 360 RPM pulse rifle? I don't know, maybe that's just something I have a personal issue with. But with all due seriousness, I don't feel that fixed weapon rolls are detrimental to Destiny 2 at all. It's the fact that there are not a lot of weapons currently present in Destiny 2 that make you think that this system is poorly implemented. As stated earlier, fixed weapon rolls' main endeavor is to promote weapon uniqueness. So a question such as, is this weapon good, actually makes sense in Destiny 2. In Destiny 1, if someone asked me if a weapon was good, I tell them to ask me if the archetype was good, because if you and I had two different weapons in the same archetype, yours would be considered better than mine if your weapon had better perks than mine. Because in Destiny 1, a weapon would only be considered good individually if it rolled really good perks. For example, the Wild 9 Longbow Synthesis and the LDR 5001 were in the same archetype, but for the most part could roll the same exact perks. So once again, if someone asked me if the Wild 9 Longbow Synthesis was a good weapon, I respond with, it is a good weapon. So is the LDR 5001, the 1000-yard stare, and whatever other weapons were in this archetype, because random perk rolls deprive weapons of their uniqueness. Now that fixed weapon rolls are a thing, it makes sense to ask if one particular weapon is a good choice, because before it would only make sense to ask if an exotic weapon was a good choice, since exotic weapons always had the same perks no matter what. But with that being stated, that's all I got for y'all for the time being. Thank you for tuning in, and remember, some may say it's impossible, but let's make Destiny great again. 1LHD over and out. Keep it smooth.